Okay, children. Next, we are going to study about the gram staining procedure. Already, we have studied two ways of classifying the bacteria based on the shape and the flagella. Next method is of classifying the bacteria is gram staining procedure. This gram staining procedure was first developed by a Danish physician named Christian Gram in the year 1884. It is a differential staining procedure. Differential staining procedure means it's a staining process in which uses more than one stain. On the basis of this differential staining, that is done prepared by the gram stain, the bacteria is classified into two classes, gram positive and gram negative. The steps involved in the gram staining procedure we are going to study here. So first step is to prepare a smear of bacterial culture. So here uh, first a smear is being prepared. Okay, so it can be prepared either from the bacterial cell, blood cell, or it can be prepared from the pus cell, etc. First thing, a smear is prepared and it is gently heated. Next, what you are doing, it is stained with crystal violet for 30 seconds. After staining with crystal violet for 30 seconds, this slide it is washed with distilled water for 2 seconds. After that, to this slide we are adding gram iodine for 1 minute. Few drops of gram iodine is added. Next, it is washed again with the distilled water. Next, the slide is washed with 95% of ethanol or acetone for 10 to 30 seconds. So when it is washed with ethanol, what will happen? Discoloration will take place. Okay, sometimes discoloration will take, sometimes the discoloration will not take place. Next, it is rinsed with distilled water. Again, when we rinse, after rinsing with the distilled water, it is another stain is applied, that is safranin, for 30 to 60 seconds. Next, again this excess of stain is washed off with distilled water and it is dried with the blotting paper and it is observed under the microscope. This is the gram staining technique. So first we are preparing a smear, then we are staining the smear with the crystal violet, then we are washing with distilled water, then again application of the gram iodine, then again it is washed with distilled water. Next, washing with the 95% of ethanol. Next, it is rinsed with distilled water. Again, safranin stain is applied for 30 to 60 seconds. Again, it is washed with distilled water and it is dried up and it is observed under the microscope. So here, the gram positive bacteria, the crystal violet, it will retain that crystal violet color and it will appear dark violet. So here the dark violet color of the smear will indicate the presence of gram positive bacteria, whereas gram negative bacteria, it will lose the crystal violet color when we wash with the acetone. Okay, it will lose the crystal violet color and it will again when we stain with the safranin, it will appear red in color. Okay, so gram negative bacteria will lose the crystal violet color when it is washed with acetone or alcohol, and it will again when it is stained, when the smear is stained with the safranin, this smear will retain the red color. So in the smear, the red color will represent the gram negative bacteria. So dark violet color represents the gram positive bacteria and the red color represents the gram negative bacteria. Now the difference between the gram positive and the gram negative bacteria in the cell wall is, first difference, the gram positive bacteria, the cell wall, they contain teichoic acid and uronic acid. They also contain polysaccharide molecules in the cell wall. Whereas in the gram negative bacteria, the cell wall, they contain three components which lies outside the peptidoglycan layer. As we have studied in the case of gram positive bacteria, this polysaccharide molecule is the outermost layer. Okay, next here in the case of gram negative bacteria, outside to this polysaccharide layer, three more layers are present, they are lipoprotein, outer membrane and lipopolysaccharide. Thus, it results in the different staining by the gram staining. So here you can see the difference between gram positive and gram negative bacteria. So first difference based on the cell wall. So based on the cell wall, the bacteria, they are gram positive bacteria. Gram positive bacteria, they will have a thick layer. The thickness ranges between 0.015 mu meter to 0.2 mu meter, 0.02 mu meter. Whereas gram negative bacteria, they are thin layered and the size ranges, the thickness ranges between 0.0075 mu meter to 0.012 mu meter. Next, rigidity of the cell wall. So here in the case of gram positive bacteria, the rigidness of the cell wall is due to the presence of peptidoglycans. So here in the case of gram positive bacteria, few layers, 3 or 4 layers of peptidoglycans are present. This gives rigidity to the gram positive bacteria. Whereas gram negative bacteria, the cell wall, they are elastic due to the presence of lipoproteins and polysaccharide mixture. Next, chemical composition. So in the cell wall consists of peptidoglycan 80%, polysaccharide 20%, and teichoic acid is present there. Whereas in the gram negative bacteria, peptidoglycan only 3 to 12%, rest all others they are polysaccharides and lipoproteins. Teichoic acid is absent there. Outer membrane, it is absent in case of gram positive bacteria, whereas in the gram negative bacteria, outer membrane is present there. Next is the periplasmic space. Gram positive bacteria, the periplasmic space is very little or absent, whereas in the gram negative bacteria, it is present there. Susceptibility to penicillin. Okay, how the bacterial cell they react, shows reaction to the penicillin. Gram positive bacteria, they are highly susceptible. Okay, next gram negative bacteria, they are low susceptible. Next, nutritional requirement. They are relatively complex, they are relatively simple. Flagella. Flagella in the gram positive bacteria, they contain only 2 flagellas, 2 basal body rings are present. Whereas in the gram negative bacteria, they contain 4 basal body rings. Next, lipid and lipoproteins. They are low in gram positive bacteria, whereas they are high in gram negative bacteria. Next, lipopolysaccharides. They are absent in gram positive bacteria, but they are present in gram negative bacteria. With this, children, we can complete for today's topic. In the next class, we will study about the life process in bacteria. Hope you have understood all the topics being taught today. Any doubt you can ask to me. Thank you, children.